Welcome everybody back to Forza Horizon 4, and today we're taking a look at the 1957 Hot Wheels Studebaker Golden Hawk Dream Roadster. Now, Studebaker was a car manufacturer that existed in the early 1900s, although they were around before then doing all sorts of other non-automotive related products, and from the early 1900s to 1967. But sadly, like say Nash, they really did fold in the 50s to 60s after it became apparent that they wouldn't be able to compete against the big three. And this is based on a standard Golden Hawk, which was produced between 1956 and 1958. Only was around a short time because of the late 50s recession, meaning that less than 900 of those were made. So this rare one-off is based on a slightly less rare version of a car already. So and this completely throws the rulebook out of the window of car design, because symmetry really is not the thing for this car. Outside of the wheels being lined up and the hood of the bonnet being in line, everything else is pretty much not lining up with something else on the side. The brake light, as you can see, isn't completely right across the back there. It's got a little indentation. This is actually a boot, although we can't open it. As you can see, it's not the way a normal boot would be. And then the headlights, one pair is completely exposed, and then the other pair, if we'll show you, is, I believe, is it going to show us? No, it's not. I don't know why. Why is it not showing us? Basically, they fold out like a pop-up headlights, but they're popping up down for whatever reason, I don't know. But yeah, it's a rear-wheel drive car. It weighs 3,362 pounds, and it's also got a lot of power. It's not the lightest car out of the Hot Wheels Legends car pack, but it's easily one of the more powerful, as it has a 4.6 litre naturally aspirated V8 engine producing 528 horsepower and 510 pounds-feet of torque, which is a fairly sizable amount when you consider it doesn't weigh quite as much as some vehicles in the car pack. And it's certainly more powerful than them. And it's a really nice looking car. I know it might divide some people because it's not symmetrical, or those headlights might not be the prettiest of things ever, but I really do like the look of it. And the interior is rather nice, but also simple as well. As you can see, nice white on black dials, nice wood steering wheel, nice wood gear lever, and nice amount of I think it's leather, looks like leather, and just really rather nicely put together, to be honest. Obviously there's no roof, and obviously if you're going to be in an area where rain is often happening, like in the UK for instance, this would not be suitable whatsoever. But in somewhere like California or anything like that, where rain is few and far between, then you'd be suited down to the ground with this. And this is definitely the kind of car that really does need sunshine to go along with it. That's why it's called the Dream Roadster, I think, in some regards, because it's a dream kind of convertible car for some people. I'm not sure whether or not there's more of a personal story behind it being named the Dream Roadster, but either way, it is a superb looking car, and just as good to drive. So let's get out onto the open road and see just how good it is. Unfortunately, it is raining now, so not quite California weather, more UK weather. But regardless, still a great little roadster this is. And one thing that you can see that this is not made for rainy weather is the fact that the front wheels have no guards over them. So if you were in rain, you'd get the wheels kicking up water on you, and mud and stones as well. So that's a little bit of a hazard, I imagine. But regardless, you can see the headlight has come down. As you can see, it's upside down pop-up headlight. So it's not the best looking car in the world because of those headlights, but I do like the fact that they've gone for something completely different, because it's very rare that you see a car that is not symmetrical and has gone for something like this in terms of a headlight setup. But I'll just let you listen to the engine for a little bit, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, it's definitely more controllable than the Nash Metropolitan that we reviewed in the last episode. That's purely because it's got better, wider tyres, and yeah, being a little bit heavier, it's putting more pressure down on those tyres. But yeah, in terms of performance, it's also pretty damn good. It's actually quicker than the Nash Metropolitan, as it will do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat, 0 to 108.7 seconds, and it goes to a top speed of 149 miles an hour. So I don't think that's quite as quick at the top end as a Nash, but yeah, definitely quicker to 60. And yeah, also handles better as well, so I imagine this would be a far easier car to drive around a track or you know, properly quick on the road. And yeah, I really do like this car. Sounds pretty good as well, going up to 7,000 RPM. Does have really rather long gears because it's only a 3-speed manual gearbox, so that's a little bit of a shame. I would have preferred a 4 or 5-speed and being able to use that power more often. So, but yeah, it does feel like quite a lazy V8 despite revving as high as it does, purely because of the way that the gearbox is and how it's set up and how many gears it actually has. So yeah, despite being high revving, it does feel a lot lazier than it actually is. But yeah, still great car and another solid vehicle in the car pack. It's $7.99 in terms of UK sterling. Not sure if that's the same for everywhere, whether it's dollars or whatever else, but you also do get 10% off it if you have the Xbox Game Pass. So yeah, well worth getting the Game Pass if you don't want to particularly be buying games, but you also want to get DLC on the cheap, because yeah, all DLC does get a price cut. And yeah, it's well worth getting the car pack, because not only do we have 6 unusual vehicles, but there are obviously also 6 new vehicles to the Forza series, and that is never a bad thing, especially if you're into tuning and upgrading and racing online, to see how such things do in comparison to, say, more stock vehicles. But yeah, regardless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.